Oh, this is crazy. I'm saying this for every story, but that's because they are. Man who removed condom during intercourse with sex worker is jailed for 12 years for a rape. What? That's crazy. How many years is she put in jail for being a prostitute? Oh, 0. Oh, okay. Lee Hogbin, who threatened to shoot a judge after his sentence of 12 years in prison was handed down. I'm not surprised. He didn't commit a crime, really. And he's being sentenced to 12 years in prison for taking off a condom? Wow. The gynocracy is powerful, where this guy is coming from. Good Lord. Meanwhile, you got these bleeding heart liberal nut jobs in California decriminalizing having sex with someone when you have AIDS and not informing them. I'm Typhoid Mary, except the typhus that I have kills people. It's a 100% death sentence. Wanna bang me? Oh, now you don't even have to tell people that. And if you bang them and you get them fucking infected with HIV, no punishment. But this fucking guy, 12 years in prison? Unbelievable. Oh, because it's against the Wayman. Can't do anything to Wayman. So a man who removed his condom during intercourse with a sex worker that was initially consensual, because it can turn non-consensual, right, has been jailed for 12 years after he was found guilty of raping her. Raping a hooker that you paid to have sex with. Wait, what? Okay, let me get this straight. I'm confused here, right? Isn't that like denial of service? Didn't she commit a crime? I paid for a fucking service and you refuse to give it to me. That's like stealing my money. That's great. That's great. That's the way I look at it. Don't you women have any honor? What about the customer's always right? And you pay for something, you should get that something. Now it's a crime to expect what you paid for. Ho. Great, just great. So Lee Hogbin, 35. Hogben? H-O-G-B-E-N. That's a horrible name. I bet he got teased mercilessly as a child. Maybe he's internalized that and thinks he actually looks like a hog. I don't know. Anyway, 35. Ignored his female victim's repeated pleas to stop during the session in a Bournemouth hotel room. Says who? Her? This is just a case of he said, she said. Why is there so much shrift given to fucking women's words? Why is there so much validity placed on what a Wayman says, and then what a man says doesn't mean anything? It's kind of like in the Muslim world, except reversed. Like, a woman's word is worth half as much as a man's. Well, now it's become the exact... Have you noticed that? That's very interesting. That the way it is in the Muslim world, which is an actual patriarchy, where a woman's word is worth half what a man's is, in the West, it's the exact opposite. A man's word is, practically speaking, they won't say it, of course, but that's obvious, that's the case. A man's word is worth half what a woman's is. But we're living in a patriarchy? Really? So the woman reported Hogben to the police. She's a hooker. She's a whore. She probably had a whole bunch of traumatic, she's got a whole bunch of feelings inside her, right? She's got all these horrible traumatic events that have happened to her, and maybe one day she just snapped and wanted to blame somebody and get recognition for her victimhood. Yeah, I need to be recognized as a victim. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I choose him. He took his condom off. Yeah, says who? Says me, and because I'm a Wayman, and his word is worth half what mine is, you have to believe me over him. So she told the police, he broke the agreed terms of consent. There's agreed terms of consent now? Let me get this straight. What if I'm having sex with some wacky, nutty broad, and she says, okay, it'll be consensual until you have to blow your nose. Some arbitrary bullshit. If you blow your nose during sex, I have a problem with that. And if you blow your nose, that breaks the terms of consent, and then I can essentially have you arrested for rape. Now, of course, if some broad said something nutty like that, I wouldn't sleep with her, but... I very much doubt that this woman said to him, okay, You have to wear a condom. And if you take the condom off, that breaks the agreed terms of consent, and it's now become rape. Are you aware of that, sir? Please sign on the dotted line. I don't think that happened. I don't think that conversation occurred. What terms of consent? This is so crazy. Hogben threatened to shoot the sentencing judge. No, really? I wonder why. He's being sent to jail for 12 years. For raping a hooker that he paid for sex because he took the condom off, says her. Right. What evidence do you have? Just her word. Oh, okay. Well, it's a woman, so women don't lie, right? Place it for it. Anyway, he threatened to shoot the judge in an outburst at the end of the 3-week trial. I can't believe this. Wow. The virtue signaling is strong, man. We're going to have a 3-week trial and send a message to everybody out there that we care equally for hookers and non-hookers alike. After being found guilty of rape and 2 counts of sexual assault. How will you, I don't get this. What did he do that was sexual assault? He took off his condom. Did you get some kind of sexual disease, sexually transmitted disease, which would then be able to be proved? Then you'd be able to prove that you took the condom off if you could test him and see he has the same disease? No, we have no proof like that. But I'm a Wayman. We don't lie. Appearing via video link at Bournemouth Crown Court in Dorset, of course this is the UK, he told Judge Stephen Climby, I'm coming for you. You'll get a shotgun in the face at night. Pro-feminist scumbag judge. The court heard how the victim advertised her services on a sex work website. Tell us her name, please, okay? I'm not somebody that frequents hookers, but I think this woman shouldn't get into any more business, okay? She should be out of business. Some hooker. Some freaking hooker. You pay me, and I'm not going to give you what I cut. Well, I love that. This is great. This is fucking great. He broke the terms of consent, right? What about you? You agreed to give him a happy ending in exchange for a certain amount of cash, and you didn't give it to him. How many years are you going to spend in jail? Oh, 0! I love it. A turnabout is apparently not fair play if it involves a Wayman, who the turnabout will be directed upon. Good Lord. Unbelievable. She advertised her services on a sex work website and had specifically indicated online that all her clients must use protection. Or be accused of rape? Does it say that? No! I don't understand here. How is taking off the condom rape? This is like that fucking episode of, what's that show called? Law & Order SVU, which I haven't watched in years because it went full feminist retard. And they were trying to pass a law, and they successfully convicted a guy on that show of rape because he was lying to women and telling them he had some high-up job and he could do favors for them to get their kids into a specific university. He was pretending to be like the president of the university or something, and he was sleeping with all these post-wall cougar broads, single moms, in exchange for getting their kids in the university, but it turned out he was just the janitor. And he happened to have access to all the offices and shit, so he fooled all the women into believing this. It's like, well, what kind of character do these broads have to essentially go to this man and essentially say to him, I'll give you a blowjob if you let my kid in the university? Somehow he's to blame, though. He's the bad guy. They're not participating equally in this fraud. Oh, no. It's always the man that's the bad guy, right? Yeah, of course. So, Hogben met her at the Royal Bath Hotel, having agreed upon a price in advance for 2 hours of her services, which apparently he didn't get. Prosecutor Jody Mitchell said the sex worker claimed Hogben had threatened her with violence, claims her. This is just a he said, she said? That's your evidence? Used to be, these kind of cases were completely non-viable. You couldn't get a prosecution of any kind off of a he said, she said. Now, well... Feminism, people. So, yeah, she claimed Hogben threatened violence when she resisted him after he removed the condom. She said Hogben went beyond what was consented to by removing the protection, which the complainant will say was a condition of intercourse. Uh-huh. So that's rape? What? He's paid for your time. All right, you could argue that he might have done something wrong, but it ain't rape. Okay, that's absurd. Meanwhile, you got these broads running around raping young boys, and it's being called sex by the media. She had sex. All the fucking headlines are they had sex with a young boy, sex with a young boy, not just on his bedpost. Wait a second. How many years are they getting? No slap on the wrist. He takes a condom off, 12 years. Oh my God. She said, she repeatedly protested, allegedly. How do we know? I don't do that, she says. She said. No evidence. Please, no. Bullshit. I never believed this shit. I don't believe this for a second. I think this is a mentally damaged, deranged broad, okay, that wanted some victimhood brownie points. She tried to wiggle away, she claimed, but he told her to stop. The she claimed isn't in there, but I'm interjecting it because it should be. We shouldn't just take this woman's words at face value. So she tried to wiggle away, she claimed, but he told her to stop. He told her he had beaten people up and robbed them. Oh, okay, I don't buy any of this. Now I did this just bullshit. I don't believe any of it. This is total crap. It's a railroad job. This is just somebody trying to make an example of this guy and get elected or get reelected. That's all. That's all. Just pandering to wacky, crazy, leftist, fucking nutjob feminists. That's all this is. Ay, ay, ay. Forgive me, I'm pouring myself another cup of coffee. I needed to get through this garbage. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wow, this is a long story for such nonsense. All right. Then it's, she claimed that Hogben then left without paying her. Oh, okay, this is how I know this is bullshit, okay? Hookers get paid up front. This is well known, okay? If a hooker doesn't get paid up front, she's a fucking moron. Here's the car keys. Why don't you get in the car and test drive it? And I don't know who you are, and then I'll trust you to give me the money after you come back with the car. What? It's a good way to get your car stolen, pinhead. No, you get the money up front. They all get the money up front. This is so retarded. Ridiculous. Get the money up front, ladies. All right? Unbelievable. Like anybody believes this crap. So, Miss Mittel read aloud a victim impact statement from the victim, alleged victim. Why are you a victim? Because you claim to be? I love it. Boy, what male privilege? Should somebody please tell me how we're living in a patriarchy? I don't see any privilege here. I see she has a lot of privilege. I see she wants us to believe that he has a lot of privilege, but the truth of the matter is the exact opposite. Because only somebody with privilege would be automatically believed over somebody else when there's no other evidence except the words from both of them. And if she said she has considered self-harm as a result of what happened to her, that's bizarre. It's not generally something that people who have been supposedly raped, what happened to her? What? Some dude took off a fucking condom. Who paid you for sex, honey? What did you think sex work was? La-dee-da, fucking rainbow and swizzle sticks and candy cane land? What is this bullshit? She's mentally disturbed. I told you, this broad's mentally disturbed. And because she's mentally disturbed, this poor guy's going to jail for 12 years. She just wanted a little attention. This is what I thought. This is exactly what I thought it was. Somebody who has been exposed. Anybody that goes into this type of work, by the way, the vast majority of them have been victims from very early on in their life. I would guess that this girl, this woman, whatever the hell she is, this creature, suffered sexual abuse at a young age. She's had a lot of trauma, kept it internalized, hasn't talked about it, hasn't dealt with it. Has she just reached a breaking point? Maybe he said or did something she didn't like. I don't know. But she just said, all right, enough. This guy is going to be my way by proxy. I'm going to make him a victim now, and I'm going to use him to deal with my trauma and make everybody recognize what a victim I am, because I've been a victim and nobody's recognized it. Oh, God. Anyway, ridiculous.